The two scale systems that we use in Western harmony are called harmonic scales. These are the major scale and the minor scale, the two scales that have a root or one that feels like home. C major, C is 1. A minor. A sounds like 1, and so forth. This tension and release back to 1 is, you have a memory of this in your ears if you've ever heard a classical symphony, the kind that end in that real obvious way to let the audience wake up and know they're supposed to applaud. You know, these guys. So that's what I'm talking about. It's flipping back and forth between two things, this one and that one. And that's a typical, that's 1, and that's not 1. That's the tension chord back to 1. And the notes that we're hearing that lead our ear in that magnetic pull back to 1, the key note is scale degree 7. And so with that sound in mind, I'd like to point out an obligatory feature of both the major and minor scale in Western harmony. Scale degree 7 must always be a half step, or just 1 fret below the 1 of the scale. C, 7 is only 1 fret, and we call that in music, 1 fret like that, a half step. A whole step, by the way, is 2 frets. So this is clearly a half step below, as it should be, because this is the rule. Scale degree 7 has to only be 1 fret below the root of the key, C. Let's try it in F. That's the other scale you know. 6, 7, 1, 7, 1, 7, 1. Half step, only 1 fret, not a whole step. So that's great. That's what we need. So getting to back my script here. So as I've said, that movement from scale degree 7 back to 1, 7, 1, that half step creates the magnetic pull that is the feature of both of these harmonic scales. And so getting to my point here, with minor scales, if they're truly harmonic minor and not the modal minor variations in Irish music or blues, have to follow this rule as well. They have to have a scale degree 7, which is only 1 fret or 1 half step below the root note. And if you look at the A minor scale's key signature, there are no sharps and flats. So you already know A minor as written in its natural form. It's the same as C major. But then we just pretend that A is the tonal center like that. It's the same as C. So that leaves us with 7th scale degree as a plain old G, which is 2 frets or a whole step below A. We can see it on frets here. The high A is here, and G natural's there. Clearly a note in the middle, not a half step, so it's not truly a harmonic minor scale. So to make it harmonic minor, we just have to raise the G up a fret, which is we do by putting a sharp in front of it. That tells us not G, but note above G, G sharp, and now G sharp to A is indeed a half step between scale degree 7 and scale degree 1, which creates the bombastic minor key symphony ending. 7 is a half step below 1, and it magnetically wants us to go back to 1. So I hope that explains why we're going to put a little G sharp sign a sharp sign next to the G to make it a G sharp, usually in the key of A minor. And in harmonic minor scales, we do not put that sharp in the key signature. So there's not a key signature where there's just a G sharp. However, when I think of what an A minor scale is, definitely G sharps. So this is more the sound. Harmonic minor is how Bach composed. It's the sound of Brazilian choro minor key tunes. And the kind of minor you have in Irish music or bluegrass fiddle tunes usually is not harmonic minor. It's natural minor. It has G naturals in it. So that's a really important thing to understand about minor scales, that if you've played a lot of Irish reels or jigs, they probably go A minor to G, natural, even a whole G chord. And the kind of minor that I'm going to teach in this unit is definitely the Bach variety that has G sharps, unless otherwise indicated. In songs in the key of A minor, we sometimes see plain old G natural as well, as indicated by the key signature, but don't be surprised to see a bunch of G sharps written right into the chart and not in the key signature. So let's learn some songs in the key of A minor.